mga kawawmat, in this video, we will discuss proving the conditions for similarity of triangles. So in this video, we will focus on SSS, SAS, and AA Similarity Theorem. Our objectives is we will illustrate, explain, and prove the conditions for similarity of triangles. We will also solve problems involving SAS, SSS, and AA similarity theorems. Now, before we proceed to our discussion, I want you to state the postulate or theorem to prove that the triangles are congruent. So, ito po ay review ninyo sa lessons ninyo noong kayo ay grade 8. So, ano pa yung mga triangle congruence theorems and postulates? So, let's have these figures. So, if you have two triangles that are congruent given by the markings, so tingnan po natin yung ating mga markings dito. So, I have here two congruent sides that are congruent of the from the two triangles and then the included angle. So these two triangles are congruent by SAS congruence postulate. And then this one, since we have here three sides of the first triangle that are congruent to another three sides of another triangle, then this is by SSS congruence postulate. And then this one, we have the angle, two angles that are congruent to the two angles of another triangle, and of course the included side. So this is by SA congruence postulate. And then we also have here the two angles that are congruent to the two angles of another triangle and an non-included side. Pag sinabing non-included, wala siya dun sa in between o pagitan nung dalawang angles mo, na kung saan congruent sa non-included side din po ng isang triangle. So these two triangles are congruent by AAS congruence theorem. Now, ano ba itong mga to? So, ito po yung tinatawag nating triangle congruence postulates and theorem. So, ito po ay nirecall natin dahil pwede natin siyang magamit in proving the conditions of triangle similarity theorem. So, again, what is the difference between similarity and congruence? Pag sinabi natin congruent ang dalawang triangles natin, all of their corresponding parts are congruent. Ibig sabihin, all the angles are congruent and all the sides are congruent. But when it comes to similarity, only the angles are congruent, the sides must be proportional. Alright, so let us recall the concept of similar triangles. So pag sinabi nga po nating similar triangles, of course, they must have the same shape. So we have two triangles here. And then the corresponding angles of both triangles are congruent. So ayan po, kung meron po tayo dito ng triangle ABC and triangle PQR, dapat po lahat ng angles po nila congruent dun sa corresponding angles ng isang triangle. So kapag meron po tayong dalawang triangles na similar, congruent po ang kanilang corresponding angles. So ano-ano ba yung mga corresponding congruent angles nila? So based dito sa given figure natin, angle A is congruent to angle P. And then, angle B is congruent to angle Q. And angle C is congruent to angle R. So, angle C is congruent to angle R, P sa A, and then Q to B. Okay, so kapag sinabi nating similar, tatandaan po na corresponding angles are congruent. Now, when it comes to their sides, hindi po congruent ang sides ng ating similar triangles. They are what? Proportional. Okay, so let us list all the proportions of corresponding sides. So, take note ha, it must be corresponding. Okay, baka kasi yung side AB mo, ito po ang gamitin mong corresponding side niya. Hindi po. So, take note, dapat corresponding. Okay, so let us list all the proportions of corresponding sides. First is we have PQ, this segment is proportional to this side, okay, to AB, and then that is equal to PR over AC, which is also equal to QR over BC. So ito po yung tinatawag natin na ang tatlong sides po ng similar triangles natin must be proportional. So, ang difference niya po sa congruent triangles, pag congruent triangles po, ang angles ay congruent, corresponding angles are congruent, and the corresponding sides are congruent. But when we say similar, only the corresponding angles are congruent. The corresponding sides are proportional. Yun po ang pinagkaiba niya sa congruent triangles. Now, given the corresponding congruent angles and proportions of corresponding sides, kapag congruent po ang corresponding angles nila at proportional po ang corresponding sides nila, then we can say that the two triangles are similar. So, we must have the similarity correspondence or similarity statement. Therefore, we can say that triangle ABC is similar. So, this is our symbol for similar. Is similar to triangle PQR. Okay, take note po sa pag-name po ng ating triangle. So, hindi po pwedeng triangle ABC is similar to QPR. Hindi po pwede yun. Kasi base po dito, ang corresponding angles natin A to P, B to Q. So, B to Q dapat. So, A to P, B is congruent to Q, C is congruent to R. So, ito po yung tinatawag nating corresponding congruent angles. So, kapag niname mo po siya na triangle RQP, ibig sabihin kung inuna mo si R, then A is congruent to R, which is, hindi po yun ang nakalagay dito sa ating corresponding congruent angles. So, ingat po tayo sa pag-name po ng ating triangle. If the question is, ma'am, pwede po bang triangle CBA is similar to triangle RQP? Yes, pwede po yun. Kasi still, CBA, kung babaliktarin mo siya, dapat baliktarin mo din to. Rearrange mo rin to, RQP din. Okay? Now, paano ba natin malalaman na ang sides natin or corresponding sides natin, kasi wala tayong problema sa angles, congruent yan. When it comes to side, they must be proportional. So, paano natin malalaman? So, dapat same po sila ng similarity ratio, or ito yung tinatawag natin simplest form. Okay? So, pag pareho po ng similarity ratio po ang ating similar triangles, then we can say that the two triangles are similar. Okay, so let's have an example. So, given the measures, so ano ba yung mga ating proportions of corresponding sides? We have SP over MN. So, dito po siya corresponds. And then we have PT, this one, this side, to NL. And then we also have ST to ML. Now, kunin natin yung kanilang mga measures. So, we have SP is, for PT over NL, we have 3 over 9. And then for ST over ML, we have 5 over 15. Now, kunin po natin ang kanilang lowest term by dividing the fraction into their GCF. So, the GCF is 4. So, this is 4 divide 4, that is 1/3. 12 divide 4 is 3. And then for 3 over 9, this is also 1/3. For 5 over 15, this is also 1/3. So, as you can see, pare-pareho po sila ng similarity ratio ng simplest form. So, ibig sabihin, kung ang similarity ratio nila ay pare-parehong 1/3, ibig sabihin, the two triangles are similar. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, the two triangles are similar because the corresponding sides of the similar triangles are proportional. So, paano malalaman na proportional? Pag pareho po sila ng similarity ratio. Now, let's talk about the triangle similarity theorem. So, kanina, nirecall natin yung mga triangle congruence postulates and theorems. Now, anong difference niya sa triangle similarity theorems? So, we have three, the SSS similarity, SAS similarity, and AA similarity. So, what is the difference nitong tatlo nating similarity theorems? So, let's have the first one. Pag sinabi nating SSS similarity, ibig sabihin since sides ito, tatlong sides ang tinutukoy niya, ibig sabihin ang tatlong sides daw po nito ay dapat proportional. Okay, so kapag yung dalawang triangles mo, proportional yung corresponding sides nila, then we can say that the two triangles are similar. Okay? So, let's have BA over ED is equal to AC over DF, which is also equal to BC over EF. So, if the three sides of your first triangle is proportional to the three sides of another triangle, then the two triangles are similar. So, tatandaan, when it comes to similarity, pag sides, proportional. Pag angle, congruent. Okay? So, yun po ang tatandaan. So, pag side po, kaya kapag meron tayong SSS similarity, ibig sabihin, yung tatlong sides niya ay proportional dapat. Kapag yung tatlong sides ay proportional, ibig sabihin that these two triangles are similar by SSS similarity. Now, when it comes to SAS similarity, meron tayong dalawang S dito which is referring to sides. So, ibig sabihin yung dalawang sides natin must be proportional and your angle must be congruent. So, kung congruent po yung angle natin at yung dalawang sides natin ay proportional, ibig sabihin those two triangles are similar by SAS similarity. Okay, so we have here triangle ABC and then triangle DEF. So, meron tayo ditong angle. Now, etong angle na to, it's not just an angle. Okay? Hindi po siya basta-basta angle lang na kung saan-saan. Okay? So, pag sinabi nating angle by SAS similarity, yung angle po natin dito must be included. So, dapat nasa pagitan siya ng dalawang sides na proportional. Okay? So, kapag meron tayong similar triangles by SAS, given po dyan, we have BA over ED is equal to AC over DF. Now, bakit hindi BC at EF? Kasi po, etong si BA at AC po natin, ayan, BA and AC are the sides of your angle. Also, yung ED natin at DF are the sides of this angle. So, tatandaan po na yung angle po natin, which is angle A, is congruent to angle D. So, meron tayo ditong dalawang sides at isang angle. Tatandaan na yung angle po natin dapat included. Pag sinabing included, nasa pagitan po siya ng dalawang sides na proportional. Okay, so kapag meron po tayong dalawang sides na proportional at isang angle which is congruent, therefore, the two triangles are similar by SAS Similarity Theorem. So, triangle ABC is similar to triangle DEF. And then, we also have the AA similarity. So, pag sinabi nating AA, ibig sabihin, meron tayong dalawang angles na congruent. Okay? So, paulit-ulit tayo, no? Pagdating sa similarity, ang angles po ay congruent, ang sides po ay proportional. So, yun po yung tatandaan. So, since dalawang angles po ito, yung dalawang angles nito ay congruent po sa dalawang angles ng another triangle. So, kung meron po tayong ganong case, ibig sabihin, these two triangles are similar. Okay? So, given the angles, we have angle A is congruent to angle D, and then angle B is congruent to angle E. So, we have here two angles. So, kapag meron po tayong dalawang angles, ibig sabihin, these two triangles are similar. Triangle ABC is similar to triangle DEF. Okay. Now, tatandaan na once na meron tayong AA similarity, kahit hindi po natin kunin itong third angle, okay? Matik po na kapag yung dalawang angles natin ay congruent sa isang triangle natin, then the third angle is also congruent to the third angle of another triangle. Okay? So, kahit hindi po to given, once na given na yung dalawang angles ay congruent dito, at ito, kahit hindi na po natin kunin ito, automatic po, they are also congruent. So, we have the three triangle similarity theorems, the SSS similarity, SAS similarity, and AA similarity. Let's talk about the AA Similarity Theorem. So, pag sinabi nating AA Similarity Theorem, if two angles of a triangle are congruent to two angles of another triangle, then the two triangles are similar. So, let us prove the given theorem. So, ito po siya. So, meron tayong dalawang triangles na kung saan yung dalawang angles ng first triangle mo is congruent to the two angles of another triangle. So, let us prove that triangle ABC is similar to triangle DEF. So, ang given lang po natin is angle A is congruent to angle D and angle B is congruent to angle E. So, let's do the proof. So, when we are doing or giving a proof, so you must have the statements and the reasons. Okay? So, first, we have angle A is congruent to angle D and angle B is congruent to angle E since we are proving the AA Similarity Theorem. So, dapat may dalawang angles na given. So, the reason is given. Okay? From your given, we can say that the measure of angle A is equal to the measure of angle D. And the measure of angle B is equal to the measure of angle E. So, tatandaan that if we have congruent triangles, therefore, the measure of these two angles are equal. So, kapag congruent sila, ibig sabihin the measures are equal. So, ang reason po natin dito, definition of congruent angles. So, kapag meron tayong congruent angles, automatic, their measures are equal. And then for our third statement, the measure of angle A plus the measure of angle B is equal to the sum of the measures also of angle D and angle E. So, ano pong reason natin dito? We have additional property of equality. So, sabi nga dito kanina, equal sila. So, pag inad daw po natin si A, angle A at angle B, equal po ito kay angle D at angle E since congruent nga po sila. 'Di ba? Binanggit kanina that A is congruent to D and B is congruent to E. So, ibig sabihin, pag inad natin to, congruent din siya dito. Okay? So, that is by addition property of equality. And then, the measure of the three angles, angle A, angle B, and angle C is equal to 180. Ganun din po sa isang triangle natin, angle D, angle E, and angle F. So, pag inad daw po natin itong three angles natin, ang sum po niyan ay 180. Ganun din po dito sa isa nating triangle. So, what will be the reason? By triangle sum theorem. Ano po ba itong triangle sum theorem? That the sum of the interior angles of a triangle is always 180 degrees. So, it's always 180. Now, kung ito pong triangle na to, ang sum niya ay 180 ng interior angles at ganun din po ito. Ibig sabihin, we can say since pareho silang equal to 180, therefore, these three angles is equal to these three angles. So, yun po yung gagamitin natin as statement number 4. Kung pareho silang 180, pareho silang equal to 180, therefore, itong tatlo is equal to the sum also of these three angles. So, ano pong reason dyan? That is by transitive property. Kasi nga po, ito equal to 180, ito rin equals to 180. Ibig sabihin, these two also are, these two sets of triangles, is also equal to, they are also equal. Okay? So, next. The measure of angle C is equal to the measure of angle F. So, this is by subtraction property of equality. If we will try to eliminate this, the measure of angle A, the sum of the measure of angle A and B, and the sum of the measures of angle D and F. So, may iwan po si the measure of angle C and measure of angle F. So, ibig sabihin, equal po silang dalawa. And that is by subtraction property of equality. Next, so if they are equal, if the measure of angle C is equal to the measure of angle F, therefore, they are congruent. So, we can say that the angle C is congruent to angle F. Why? Because the measures are equal. So, ano pong reason? Based po yan sa definition of congruent angles. And then, we can now say that triangle ABC is similar to triangle DEF. So, kanina binigay po the triangle, si angle A is congruent to angle D, and si angle B is congruent to angle E, and then ito si angle C is congruent to angle F. So we already have 3 angles that are congruent. So kung meron tayong 3 angles na congruent, ibig sabihin these 2 triangles are similar by AAA similarity postulate. Kasi pag sinabi nating similarity ng triangles, dapat po ang tatlong angles po niyan ay congruent. Let's have an example. Show that the 2 triangles are similar by AA Similarity Theorem. So we must have 2 angles that are congruent. So given these 2 triangles, so as you can see, meron na tayong the first angle. Okay, meron na tayong isang pair of angles na congruent. So we still need 1 angle na congruent. So paano natin makukuha yon? If we will try to get the measure of angle B, paano ba ito makukuha? Using the triangle sum theorem na dapat 180 po ang ang interior angle ng ating triangle. So kung 180 po, 70 plus 25, this is 95. So ano po ang measure nito para maging 180? That is 85 degrees. Now, as you can see, yung measure ni angle B which is 85 degrees ay equal po kay angle Q. So, equal siya dun sa measure ni angle Q. So, the measure of angle B, yung kinuha natin, equal po siya sa measure ni angle Q. So, kung meron po tayong dalawang angles na po na congruent pa, so kanina, given po si angle A is equal to the measure of angle P which is 70 degrees, and then si angle B naman is equal to the measure of angle Q. So meron na tayong dalawang angles ngayon. So we can now say that angle B is congruent to angle Q and angle A is congruent to angle P. So meron na tayong 2 angles. So these 2 triangles, triangle ABC is similar to triangle PQR by AA Similarity Theorem. Which of the following pair of triangles are similar? So, given this figure, alin po dito ang mako-consider natin as similar triangles? So, this one, so since meron tayong given na isosceles, so since 2 sides of the triangle are congruent, so ibig sabihin, ang base angles po niyan congruent din. So, para makuha natin ang sukat nito, okay, ima-minus natin ang 40 sa 180. So, 180 minus 40, that is 140. So, yung 140, we need to divide it by 2 para equal po itong dalawang to. So, 140 divided by 2 is 70. So, kung may 70 ka dito na measure ng angle, congruent siya dito. So, angle M is congruent to angle R. Now, since ito rin po ay isosceles, ibig sabihin itong base angles mo ay congruent. So, if this is 70, ibig sabihin 40 rin yun. So, meron ka ulit isa pang angle na congruent. So, ibig sabihin, these 2 triangles are similar by AA Similarity Theorem. Next, given this figure, we already have 2 angles given po na pareho silang right. So, ibig sabihin 90 degrees yan. So, meron na tayong isa. Now, para ma-prove natin na similar ang triangles natin, we must have at least 2 angles na congruent. So, meron na tayong isa. Ito, meron tayong 49 degrees at ito ay 51 degrees. So, dito pa lang, makikita nyo na magkaiba sila, hindi sila congruent. So, therefore, kung magkaiba po ito, ibig sabihin, iba rin po ang sukat nito dito. Hindi rin po ito congruent. So, we only have 1 angle na congruent. So, therefore, we cannot consider these 2 triangles as similar triangles. So, there is no similarity. Okay? Next. Let's have the third one. So, in this figure, meron tayong isa lang po na triangle, na angle na congruent. So, can we consider these 2 triangles as similar? Yes or no? Yes. Okay? So, ma'am, bakit po isa lang po given? As you can see, meron tayo ditong vertical angles. So, kapag meron po tayong vertical angles, by vertical angle theorem, that the 2 vertical angles are always congruent. Okay? So, kung congruent ito, meron na tayong first pair na congruent angles. And then ito po yung pangalawa. So, these two triangles are similar by AA similarity theorem. Let's talk about the SAS similarity theorem. So, SAS, this is where if one of the angle of a triangle is congruent to one of the angle of another triangle, and the sides that include these angles are proportional. So, we have, then the two triangles are similar. So, tatandaan na kapag similarity, yung sides po natin ay proportional. Ang angle po congruent. So, kapag meron kang dalawang triangles na yung dalawang sides ay proportional at yung angles ay congruent, yung isang angle which is included, so it must be included. So, since nandito po yung dalawang angle natin, ibig sabihin, ito dapat proportional dito and this one proportional po doon. Okay? Kasi dapat included po yung angle. Hindi po pwedeng ito kasi wala naman po dito yung angle natin. So, let us prove. So, given po yung dalawang corresponding sides natin na proportional, we have AB is over QR is equal to AC over QS. So, dapat proportional po iyon. And then, also, we have angle A is congruent to angle Q. Yun po yung given natin. So, let's prove that these two triangles are congruent. So, let's have the proof. So, for statement number 1, let X be a point on segment QR such that segment AB is congruent to segment QX. So, gawa raw po tayo by construction. Okay, ito po si point X dito sa segment QR. And then from here, we can have segment AB, ito raw po si segment AB, is congruent to segment QR. Okay, so kung congruent po si segment AB kay segment QR, Y, by construction po yan. So, ituloy po natin. So, draw a line through X parallel to segment RS. So, from your point X, mag-draw daw po tayo ng line parallel to RS. So, ayan po siya. Now, so kung ito po ay congruent dito, so by your statement number 1, ibig sabihin, we can say that this triangle is congruent to this triangle. Since sinabi po natin that this side is congruent to this side. Okay, based dito. So, number 2, the reason is by parallel postulate. Now, number 3, angle X is congruent to angle R. So, ito daw pong dalawang angles natin ay congruent. So, tatandaan na kapag meron po tayong parallel line, ito po siya, based dun sa statement number 2 mo, na nag-form tayo kanina ng parallel line dito sa RS, segment RS mo. So, kapag meron po tayong parallel line at itong triangle na to, masasabi po natin, itong dalawang angles na to, ay masasabi po natin congruent because they are what? Corresponding angles are always congruent. So, bakit ko nasabing corresponding angles yan? Kasi po ito ay parallel lines. Now, so yun po yung magiging reason natin. If two lines are cut by a transversal, then corresponding angles are congruent. And then we have angle A is congruent to angle Q. So, yun po ay nandito. So, that is given. Let us continue. So, triangle QXY is similar to triangle QRS. So, that is by, ito po yung ating figure kanina, triangle QXY is similar to triangle QRS. Okay, bakit po? Based po doon sa ating basic proportionality theorem, yung previous lesson po natin, na kapag meron po tayong parallel line po dito, automatic these two triangles are similar. Okay? So, ang reason po natin dyan is by AA similarity theorem based po doon sa ating statement number 3 and statement number 4. So, ito po siya. So, yung statement number 3 natin that angle X is congruent to angle R and then your angle A is congruent to angle Q, which is, na yun nga po yung sinabi natin kanina, ito po congruent dito. So, let us think of this triangle as, so, ibig sabihin, angle A is congruent to angle Q. Ito po siya. So, kung meron tayong isang pair ng angle dito na congruent and another pair, meron tayong dalawa, so that is by Similarity Theorem. Nag-base po doon sa ating statement number 3 and 4. Next, so QX over QR is so we have QX over QR is equal to QY over QS. So ito daw po over QR is equal to QY over QS. So what will be the reason? By definition of similar triangle. So sabi ko nga kanina by basic proportionality theorem, ibig sabihin ito po ay proportional po dito. Okay, so that is by definition of similar triangles. And then we have AB. So ito po is over QR is equal to QY over QS. So AB over QR. So since kanina binanggit natin na ito po ay congruent dito, ibig sabihin AB is over QR is equal to QY over QS. Okay? So that is by substitution. So binanggit nga po natin kanina na ito, that AB, segment AB is congruent to QX. So ibig sabihin, si QX, pinalitan ko lang to ng AB. So that is by substitution. And then we have AB over QR is equal to AC over QS. So this is by given. Okay? So this is by since ito po ay nakita natin kanina, given po siya, so yun lang po ang ilalagay nating reason. That is given. And then we have QY over QS is equal to AC over QS. So what will be the reason here? By transitive property based po sa ating statement number 7 and statement number 8. So ano ba yung transitive dito? What makes it shows that the given proportion is by transitivity. So we have QY over QS is equal to AC over QS kasi nga po ito po, since pareho po silang AB over QR and AB over QR, so since pareho po itong ratio na to na equal po sa dalawang ratio na to na pareho, ibig sabihin these two ratios are also equal. Okay? And then we have QY is equal to AC. So QY, ito po siya, is equal to AC. Okay? And that is by multiplication property of equality. So pag minultiply po natin ito both sides by its multiplicative inverse which is QS. So pag tinimes natin to by QS and then ito rin po QS, so makakancel po ito. So may iwan na lang QY is equal to AC. And that is by MPE, multiplication property of equality. Next, we have triangle ABC is congruent to triangle QXY. So this is by SAS congruence postulate. So binanggit nga po kanina na since by substitution, ito ginamit natin siya dito. So triangle ABC is congruent to triangle QXY. That is by SAS congruence postulate kasi binanggit po na ito congruent dito. And then we have the angle which is congruent to this angle. Okay, so that is by SAS congruence postulate. And then angle B is congruent to angle X. So angle B, this angle is congruent to angle X. Why? Kasi nga po, based dito sa statement number 1 mo that this side is congruent to this side. So therefore, this angle is congruent to this angle by CPCTC. So binanggit nga po dito sa ating statement number 11 that these two triangles are congruent. So kung congruent po yan, na-prove natin na congruent sila, automatic all of their corresponding parts are congruent. So ibig sabihin si angle X congruent kay angle B at kahit ano pang parts niyan. Okay? And then angle B is congruent to angle R. Paano natin nasabi that angle B is congruent to angle R? So based dito kanina, si angle B is congruent kay angle X. And then dito sa statement number 3 natin, si angle X ay congruent kay angle R. So yung statement number 3 natin at statement number 12, pareho silang congruent kay angle X, yun ang common sa kanila. So, kung pareho silang congruent kay angle X, ibig sabihin si angle R congruent din kay angle B. And ito po yung statement number 13 natin. And that is by transitive property. And then, we can now prove that triangle ABC, this triangle is similar to triangle QRS by AA Similarity Theorem. So, given po kanina sa statement number 4 natin, meron tayong first angle, and then our second congruent angle is ito pong statement number 13. So, we already have two angles. So, therefore, two triangles are congruent by AA Similarity Theorem. So, we have here given triangle PQR and triangle DEF. If angle Q is congruent to angle E, write a proportion that must be true so that triangle PQR is similar to triangle DEF by SAS Similarity Theorem. So, we need to show that these two triangles are similar by SAS. So, ang given po natin is we have angle Q and angle E. Okay? So, these two angles daw po ay congruent. So, para maipakita natin by SAS siya, so given na yung included angle. So, ito na lang po ang hahanapin natin, yung dalawang sides na proportional. So, ano ba yung dalawang sides na yon? Paano natin makukuha? Kung ano po yung side ng angle mo. So, ano ba yung side ni angle Q? So, we have segment PQ and segment QR. Ano ba yung side ni angle E? We have segment DE and segment EF. Okay? So, para makuha mo yung SAS, dapat po yung included angle mo, ang kukunin mo pong side ay yung side nung angle. Okay? So, now, kailangan daw po natin ipakita yung proportion nung ating dalawang triangle. So, magbe-base po tayo doon sa given na angle. So, ito po yung sides niya, ito po yung sides niya. So, therefore, the proportional sides are PQ over QR is equal to DE over EF. Next, show that the two triangles are similar given segment BI is equal to 18, segment IG is equal to 12, HI is 24, and segment IR is equal to 16. So, lagay po natin yung measures niya. Now, from the given figure, we can say that segment BI, ito po, over HI, ito po yung HI natin, so that is 18, ito pong buo, 18 over 24. Pag kinuha po natin ang simplest form niyan, that is 3/4. And then, we also have another proportion, IG over IR, so this is 12 over 16. Pag kinuha po natin ang simplest form, that is also 3/4. So, we can say that these two triangles, ito pong green at yung pink natin, are meron po silang proportional sides. Okay? Bakit? Kasi pareho pong 3/4 ang kanilang similarity ratio. Now, meron na tayong dalawang sides na proportional. So, hindi pa natin pwedeng sabihin na sila ay similar kasi dapat meron it's either SAS, dalawang sides na proportional and included angle, or SSS. Okay? So, we need to have another part. So, ano po yun? Since itong dalawang triangle mo ay parehong ito, meron silang parehong angle I, which is their included angle. Ito po yan. So, we now have the two sides that are proportional and an included angle. So, ibig sabihin, triangle BIG is similar to triangle HIR by, meron tayong side, angle, and then side. Sa green naman, ito yung side niya, 12, and then angle, and then side niya, itong BI. So, side, angle, side. So, these two triangles are similar by SAS Similarity Theorem. Next, let's have the SSS Similarity Theorem. So, pag sinabi nating SSS, since we have here three sides, dapat yung tatlong sides po ng similar triangles natin ay proportional. Okay? So, yun po yung sinasabi ng theorem na to. So, given po itong segment AB natin over DE, so which is equal to segment BC over EF, and which is also equal to AC over DF. So, let us prove that these two triangles are similar. So, let's do the proof. So, our statement number 1, let us assume that AB is less than or equal to DE. So, kung yung AB mo is less than or equal to DE, ibig sabihin, proportional po yan. Okay? And then take X on segment DE. So, maglagay daw po tayo dito ng point X. And then Y sa segment DF. Okay? So that DX, this segment is congruent to this segment. And then DY is congruent to this segment. Okay? So, DX is equal to AB and then DY is equal to AC. So, Y, 2 points determine a line. Ayun po. And then, triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DXY. So, triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DXY. What is the reason? By SSS congruence postulate. And we have AB over DE. So, these three sides are proportional. So, based dito, that is our given. And then, we have DX over DE is equal to DY over DF. Why? By substitution. Based po dito sa ating statement number 1 that DX is equal to AB. So, yung AB mo dito, ito po yung based dun sa given natin, AB over DE, since AB is equal to DX, then DX is equal to over DE. And then dito naman, since AC is equal to DY, so si AC is mag-substitute tayo ng DY since equal naman sila. That's why we have DY over DF. Ito po siya. So, by substitution. Next. So, angle D is congruent to angle D and that is by reflexive property of congruence. So, we now have triangle DXY is similar to triangle DEF. So, these two triangles are similar. What is the reason? By SAS Similarity Theorem. Kasi nga po, binanggit po kanina that this side is congruent to this side and this side is congruent to this side and then this angle is congruent to this angle. Okay, so ibig sabihin meron tang S, included angle, and then another side. Okay, so that is by SAS Similarity Theorem. So we can now say that triangle ABC is similar to triangle DEF. So ito po yung ipoprove natin. Why? Since binanggit po dito kanina that triangle DXY is congruent to triangle ABC, ibig sabihin, by substitution, palitan natin si DXY ng ABC since congruent naman sila. So, triangle ABC is similar to triangle DEF. So, the reason is by substitution. Which of the following triangles are similar? So, given these three triangles, alin dito yung similar triangle? So, i-check natin ang kanilang sides since given po yung tatlong sides ng mga triangles natin. So, para ba masabi natin na similar sila, dapat po proportional ang sides. So, i-try natin lahat. So, let's have triangle ABC to triangle DEF. Let's have triangle ABC to triangle GHI. And then triangle DEF to triangle GHI. So, meron tayong 3 pairs dito. So, let's try number 1. So, we have triangle ABC to DEF. So, lagay natin po yung kanilang corresponding side. So, we have 6 over 4 is equal to 2.5 over 2 is equal to 4.5 over 3. So, as you can see, pag nilowest term natin to, this is 3 halves, which is not equal to this and this one. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, hindi sila yung similar triangle. So, let's try naman dito. So, ito po yung kanilang mga corresponding sides. Now, let's see if their corresponding sides are proportional. So, ito po yung kanilang mga measures. And again, they are not equal. So, the similarity ratio is not equal. Okay? So, therefore, ito pong pair natin ng triangles ay hindi rin po similar. Now, let's try this one. So, kunin natin ang kanilang corresponding sides and let's check if their corresponding sides are proportional. So, kapag kinuha natin ang lowest term nitong tatlo, this is 1 half, 1 half, 1 half. So, pare-pareho po sila ng similarity ratio. So, ibig sabihin, based dito sa tatlong triangles na given natin, ang similar po dito ay triangle DEF and triangle GHI. So these two triangles are similar by, since 3 sides po yan at yung 3 sides nila ay proportional, ibig sabihin they are similar by SSS Similarity Theorem. Now, which of the following pair of triangles are similar? And then, if they are similar, what is the theorem that proves that these two triangles are similar? So, ito po, isa-isahin natin. Ito po, pareho na silang may 90 degrees. So, ibig sabihin, meron na tayong isang angle na congruent. So, dapat, kung angle yan, it's either AA yan or SAS. Yun lang ang pagpipilian mo kasi meron ng isang angle. So, kung kukunin po natin itong angle na to, this is 30 degrees kasi complement yan dito. This is already 90 eh. So, 60, 30 degrees to. Which is congruent to this angle. Okay? Equal siya dito. So, ibig sabihin, same na sila dito, same pa sila doon. So, meron na tayong dalawang angles na congruent. So, therefore, these two triangles are similar by AA Similarity Theorem. Let's have this one. So, we have here two angles that are congruent and then this side congruent to this side. So, again, pag sinabi natin similar, hindi po congruent ang angles. Okay? Dapat po proportional. So, since may symbol tayo dito na congruent daw po itong side na to ng first triangle mo dito, ibig sabihin dun pa lang walang similarity. Okay? Kasi ang similar triangles hindi po congruent ang sides po niyan. They are proportional. Next. So, dito, given naman yung 3 sides natin. So, kung kukunin natin yung similarity ratio nila, let's check. This is 2/3. Ito po ay 2/3 din, at ito po ay 2/3 din. So, ibig sabihin, these two triangles are similar by SSS Similarity Theorem because all of their sides are proportional. Next, this one naman. So, meron tayo ditong dalawang sides na given. So, kung kukunin natin ang similarity ratio niyan, we have, they are similar. Why? By SAS Similarity Theorem kasi these two angles are congruent. Okay? Why? Kasi po yan po ay vertical angles. Okay? So, kung vertical angles po yan at pag chinek nyo po, ibig sabihin, meron tayong two sides na congruent, proportional, and then the angles are congruent, so SAS. So, they are similar by SAS Similarity. So, solve for X and Y so that the given triangles are similar. So, I have here your first triangle. So, gawa po tayo ng proportion. Set up tayo ng proportion. So, X over 12, and then 6 over 8, and then 9 over Y. Okay, so since these two triangles are vertical angles, so ibig sabihin sila po yung congruent. So, ibig sabihin ito po ang corresponding side niyan. Ito po dito at ito po dito. So, we have now to solve for X, kasi solve for X and Y. Para mahanap natin yung X, kuha tayo dito ng ating proportion. Okay, so we have X over 12 is equal to 6 over 8. Yun po ang gamitin natin. So, X is equal to 12 times 16 divided by 8. So, 12 times 16, that is 72. Divided by 8, that is 9. So, our X is 9. Ito po ay 9. To solve for Y naman, we have Y. Ito naman ang gamitin natin na proportion. Ito po. So, we have Y is equal to 8 times 9 divided by 6. So, 8 times 9, that is 72. Divided by 6 is 12. So, our Y is 12. So, pag chinek nyo po yan, if this is 12, so ano po ang ratio po nito? 3/4. So, kung ang X mo ay 9, ang ratio rin po niyan 3/4 din. Okay? At ito po, 3/4 din. So, pare-pareho po sila ng similarity ratios. Next, we have here, we need to look for the value of X. So, ano po ba itong value of X? Now, para makuha natin ito po, punta muna tayo dun sa bigger triangle natin. So, if this is 40 and this is 35, so ano po ang sukat nito para maging 180? So, what must be your angle? So, this is 180 minus, i-add natin to, and then i-minus natin siya by 180, that is 105. Okay, so that is 105. So, ibig sabihin, if this is 105 degrees, paano mo ito makukuha? Now, tatandaan that corresponding angles are congruent. So, since this angle is congruent to this angle, kasi corresponding angles yan. Now, bakit natin ina-apply yung corresponding angles? Kasi these two segments are parallel. So, kapag parallel po yan, ibig sabihin, papasok po yung property ng parallel lines cut by transversal, that corresponding angles are congruent. So, kung congruent sila, ibig sabihin si angle X ay 105 degrees. Next, I have here, so ito po ay corresponding side po nito. Ito po corresponds to this side, and this side corresponds to this side. Okay, so let's have the proportion. So, x over 12 is equal to 6 over y is equal to 12 over 16. So, para makuha natin si x, ito po ang gagamitin nating proportion. Yung x over 12 is equal to 12 over 16. So, 12 times 12 divided by 16. That is 144 divided by 16. Your x is equal to 9. So, ibig sabihin, this is 9. To solve for y naman, ito naman po ang gagamitin nating proportion. So, we have y is equal to 16 times 6 divided by 12. So, 16 times 6, that is 96. Divided by 12, that is 8. So, kung i-check nyo, 12 times 8, that is 96. So, your y is 8. So, kung 8 po ito, since ito po ay corresponding side nito, so ano po ang ratio niyan? 3/4. Okay. So, kung ang x mo ay 9, ano po ang ratio ni 9 at 12? That is also 3/4. And then ito, 3/4 din po ito. Okay. Next. So, we have here x over 8 and then 2x minus 5 over 12. So, ito po yung sinet up natin na proportion. So, para mahanap natin si value of x. Now, hindi po pwedeng ang gamitin po natin ay x and then 2, i-add natin ito, and then y, and then 2y plus 6. Hindi po tayo pwedeng mag-solve na dalawa yung variable. So, hanap po tayo ng given dyan na kung saan ang isa-solve pa lang natin ay yung isang variable muna. Okay? So, hanap po tayo or set up tayo ng proportion na ang magagamit natin ay isang variable lang po. So, we have x over 8, 2x minus 5 over 12. So, by cross multiplication, we have 12x. And then 8 times 2x, that is 16x. And then 8 times negative 5, negative 40. So, transpose natin itong negative 16. So, we have negative 4x is equal to negative 40 by dividing both sides by negative 4. So, negative 40 divided by negative 4, that is x is equal to positive 10. And then, para ma-solve natin, see y. So, we can make use of the proportion 8 over y. And then, ito po, 20 over 2y plus 6. Okay? So, laging sa smaller triangle and then sa bigger triangle. So, add natin to. 20 over 2y plus 6. So, by cross multiplication, we have 20y. 8 times 2y plus 6, that is, times natin ito, 16y, and then 8 times 6, that is 48. So, 20y transpose, magiging minus 16y is equal to 48. So, that is 4y is equal to 48. Y is equal to 12. 48 divided 4 is 12. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you learned something. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell para updated kayo for more video tutorials. This is your guide in learning your math lessons, your Wow Math channel.